Power your investpr.org/impeller and set up your account today to see what the island has to offer. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Powered by Invest Puerto Rico.
It's a new year and time for a new look. It's time for you to trade in those old glasses and get that new, fresh, stylish look for the new year. And don't forget, it's also important to keep yourself healthy this year. Even if you have always had perfect eyesight, it is always a good idea to have regular eye exams. Schedule your appointment today and let them take care of your eyes and help you find that amazing new look for the new year. They have early morning and evening appointments to fit your schedule.
To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Engel at their Saginaw and Hemlock locations, call 792-8686.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll, United States, Russia, Ukraine. In response to concerns, Russian President Vladimir Putin may direct an invasion of Ukraine. President Biden is considering the deployment of U.S. troops to NATO allies in that region. Says the United States has an obligation to help defend NATO countries.
We have a sacred obligation under NATO, and we believe it is also in our interest to support our eastern flank countries.
Troops would not be in Ukraine because Ukraine is not a NATO country. Though the president says we have a great concern about what's happening there. The Biden administration officials say the goal is to show unity and strength within NATO and deter Russian aggression against allies in that region. Russia is denying any plans to invade Ukraine and actually has said the West is doing nothing more than stroking tensions. Poll question: would you support troops being sent to NATO allies in the Ukraine region to help defend against any Russian aggression? You vote yes, you vote no, you vote I'm not sure. Vote by going to WSW.com. You scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and you can vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. News coverage.
1 year since I took office. It's been a year of challenges.
News.
We're going to vote. Not about making voting easier. It's about making cheating easier.
News coverage.
Russia has ratcheted up its threats.
Minor incursion.
That is an invasion.
They're testing us.
News.
New York Attorney General says is significant evidence of fraud committed by the Trump Organization.
Inflation problem.
Meatloaf has died.
Comedian Louis Anderson has passed.
News coverage on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Man, the Supreme Court fight is going to be fun.
Is that what we consider fun? Do you promise?
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, a mostly cloudy good morning to each and every one of you. We're broadcasting today from Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant. It is the Crop Summit, the Great Lakes Crop Summit. This is year, I should say, number 8. We skipped a year last year for obvious reasons, and I tell you, it's really good to be back here and see all the producers that are here, all the exhibitors, and a lot of the movers and shakers of ag here in Michigan. This is quite an event and a good one. 21 degrees at the airport, 21 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is looking at 20. Downtown Bay City is at 19. We do have a little bit of a breeze out there out of the southwest. We had some drifting going on, powdery snow drift across the east-west roads a little bit earlier this morning, and that's going to continue as we go through the remainder of the day today. Winds will finally die down just a little bit, but they're going to change direction. Right now it's coming out of the southwest. We're going to be looking at a north wind tonight, 10 to 15 miles per hour. I'm looking at the projected low temperature of 6 with a north wind about 15 miles per hour. Janet Fritz, I don't even want to think about how cold it's going to be. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I have to say congratulations, first of all, to you, your organization, putting this event together with the corn growers and with the wheat growers. The number of people that are here, a little bit beyond expectations.
Yes, we're very excited about the turnout this year for the Great Lakes Crop Summit. A little higher, honestly, than years past, so we're moving ahead. And even in such a year that we struggled with disease and weather, we're doing really well and great attendance.
You know, over the years, a lot of the organizations have the opportunity to kind of hone in on specialists, individuals that producers really want to hear, and the information that they've got. I got to say the program this year was well stocked with all sorts of really good speakers and a lot of different things.
Yes, absolutely. We want to make sure that we're on the leading edge of educating our producers, right? We don't want it to be same old, same old. We want it to be something new, something that will change their operations for the better, something that they want to hear, right? We want to make sure that they're coming and leaving here with great information.
And there's a lot of information to get this year, especially after what has been going on for the past couple of years. Change in Washington, D.C., change in a lot of way things are handled. And then on top of all that, we've had a virus to contend with.
Yes, indeed. And we're still looking at more change to deal with, Terry, right? The virus, the supply chain, what are growers still, the question of what they're going to plant, right? We come back to the question of commodity mix all the time. How will inputs affect that? How will fertilizer prices affect that? We've covered many of those topics here at the Crop Summit.
And it's even more important for organizations like you to be talking to some of these folks that determine the policies in the future.
Yes, absolutely. We need our growers to be advocates for the organizations. So Michigan corn, Michigan soy, we want the farmers to talk to those people that are in leadership positions, people who are in the state and national legislatures, get their message across, inform them what's going on their farms and how they might be able to help.
How receptive are those folks to hearing from you?
They need to hear from us, and they want to understand farming more because many of them have no background in farming, right? They want to understand what issues affect agriculture and where their food comes from. So they've been very receptive. We just need more folks to reach out to them and spread the message.
Which is one of the reasons why you did move the office a little bit closer to Lansing.
We did. We moved our soybean office to Lansing, to the St. John's area, actually. So we could be close to the state legislature, right? So we can reach out and have an active engagement in Lansing, interacting, telling them what's going on out on the countryside.
We've got an election coming up here in Michigan by the end of the year. Got a funny feeling some of the heads are going to be changing, whether it's the governor or whoever. What's the process that an organization like the Soybean Association has to go through in order to educate any newcomers in those positions?
Absolutely. First step is reaching out, right? We absolutely need to make contact, especially with growers from their districts. We need those farmers to introduce themselves. Simply make a call to the office and say, hi, I'm Farmer Smith. I farm in your district. This is what's important to me, and I'm a resource person for you. Continuing those open lines of communication are really the first step. Beyond that, we want to educate, right? What do soybeans go into? What does a soybean or soybean oil or soybean meal, how does that affect your everyday life? And once a legislator sees that soy is not just something growing on the side of the road, that it really does touch every life almost every day, then they start to listen a little bit more intently.
Well, good luck to you. It's going to be a challenging year, but aren't they all?
They are. It's just a different set of challenges, Terry, right? We do what we do because we love what we do, but it is challenging year in and year out. Hopefully just not as challenging as the year before.
And again, that's one of the reasons why you're here and why the organization puts a lot of the resources behind meetings like this.
Yes, absolutely. We want to serve the farmer and make sure that their next year is not quite as challenging as the year before. What are the resources? How can they make it the next best year that they've ever had farming?
Jennifer, it's always good to talk.
Thank you, Terry.
You take care, all right?
Thank you.
Jennifer, it's Michigan Soybean Association. In a nutshell, as far as our weather goes, the cooler weather is going to continue to be around. Maybe not so much today on the thermometer. 28 is our projected high, but we're going to have plenty of clouds, breezy, and then tonight some spotty snow around before things begin to change and a cold front does drop through. 6 is what we're looking at for a low tonight. Sun will set this evening at 5:41, rise tomorrow morning at 7:57. 15 with sun and clouds tomorrow, 5 below zero for a low tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, 20 with a low of 12. Sunday, 25 degrees with a low of 11. Then we're going to warm up for about 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, above the 30-degree mark each day. But along with that is going to come the threat of a major system affecting weather as we move into midweek. Now, not to totally eliminate this, but I did want to pass it along that if you are going to be doing some traveling, planning on the East Coast as we approach and get into the weekend, be advised they are going to have a major system affecting the weather along the East Coast, running, I think, from the Carolinas all the way up into New England. They're going to be looking at some very heavy snow along the coastline back in toward Pennsylvania and Virginia, as well as into possibly central North Carolina. So again, keep that in the back of your mind if your travels are going to take you there. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Melinda Sweeney, we've got her standing by over at the Andersons. We'll be talking to her in just a moment. But before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast is brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service from Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, brought to you today by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil. Paul Englehart, come on over here just for a second. You had a busy day around here yesterday. Boy, there were a lot of folks for opening day, wasn't there?
There was. The crowd was really nice.
And you had a good opportunity to talk to a lot of producers. And probably the conversation about my diesel engine doesn't really operate very well under zero, if you know what I mean.
No, this type of weather is hard on diesels, and we have some good products to help maintain them and keep them running in all this kind of weather.
And one thing is for sure, you don't need a telephone call at midnight from anybody, especially a family member. And if they've got a diesel, they're running into some issues right now because they do start pretty hard.
They do, and if you don't have the options of plugging them in to keep them warm, you've got to rely on a diesel fuel that's going to be not gelling up when you need it to run, and we've got the products to help do that.
And the name of one of those products is Diesel Guard.
Diesel Guard Supreme Plus, very good product for us. We've had great luck and great feedback from the people that are using it. And it's if you're not using it, get in touch with us. We'll help you out.
How do we get in a hold of you?
You go to fosterbluewateroil.com or get a hold of me at 586-531-1546.
Paul, stick around.
We'll see you later.
Paul Englehart with Foster Blue Water Oil. Let's slide over to the Andersons right now and find out what's going on. Melinda Sweeney joining me this morning. Melinda, what's on the board right now at the Andersons?
Oh, right now we are looking at nearby beans are $14.06. New crop beans are $12.88. Nearby corn is $5.82. New crop corn is $5.19. Nearby wheat is $7.30, and new crop wheat is $7.41.
We've been taking some hits over the past week here, haven't we?
Oh, we've had it both ways over the last week. Wheat rallied $1, and they were down 23 yesterday. And beans rallied, and they're down a little bit, and they're back up. The volatility in the market is strong today. For the market, the corn being down is profit taking, and a little easier tensions between Russia and Ukraine reporting today than what we saw earlier in the week.
So your advice to producers when they ask you, what should I do, is what?
Take profits where you can and manage your risk. Definitely talk to your grain marketer and figure out what options you can take to protect your risk in the market.
And patience is a virtue, right?
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yes, it can be. Melissa, you take care. Have a good day, okay?
Thanks, you too.
All right, Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons. A little bit more as far as what's going on. Let's double check right now with Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report brought to you by Steiner Tractor, new parts for old tractors. That's what it's all about. And they're easy to get in contact with, 800-234-3280, or go to steinertractor.com and get the latest as far as what's going on and if you can get your part and get it on time. Also, brought to you by Frankenmuth Credit Union. They've got lines of credit for equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Find out how the Frankenmuth Credit Union can help you by going to frankenmuthcu.org. Morning, Doug.
Scary today.
Oh boy.
Well, the dollar's way up. 120 ticks today, so it's at over 97. That's kind of ugly. Gold's getting hammered. Silver's really getting hammered. Platinum's getting hammered. Copper, all the metals are getting hammered pretty hard. Crude oil hit another 7-year high today, holding up, still positive, but we'll see how the day ends. And of course, soybeans, I think they're kind of holding up on oil, sticking with the oil theme. Wheat's getting pounded just a little bit. Seems like the indexes, the stock indexes, are being sort of kind of held up by the big banks, because end of month they're going to be extracting fees, and they want to see the stock market as high as possible, so their fees are acceptable to their payroll. But anyway, here's your numbers. The March corn is 626.5, down a half a penny. December corn 569, down 3 3/4. March soybeans 1451.5, down up 11.5. The July soybeans 1455 3/4, up 5 1/4. The March wheat is 783.5, down 11.5, and December wheat is 784, down 10 1/4. Crude oil is 87.51. It's up 16 cents right now, but it hit 88.54, so it's come down just about a buck in the morning so far. Heating oil is 270.81, up 1.6 cents. Gasoline 254.06, up 1 3/4 cents. Natural gas is 415.5. That's up 11 3/4 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2703 at the border. That's up 38 ticks. The yen is at 115.44, up 81 ticks. The euro's at 111.49. That's down 88 ticks. And the dollar's at 97.16. That's up 121 ticks. Gold's at 1793.60, down 36.10. Silver's 22.71, down $1.10. Platinum's at 10.21. That's down $25.
It's not kind, is it right now?
Man, it's volatile.
Well, I got a funny feeling that the uncertainty with a lot of policies these days is just finally wearing on a lot of people, and they really know what they want to do. I think everybody wants to do something, but they just don't know what.
Right. And we got interest rate raises coming in March, and that's kind of on their minds too. So,
yep, everything is weighing pretty heavy.
That tends to raise the dollar when interest rates go up here. Money comes here, to get that 1/4 of a point or 1/2 a point or whatever they're going to give you. It's better than losing 10 or 15% in your particular currency that is going to heck.
No kidding. And orange juice is going up.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I got to grow some trees in the backyard. That's all there is to it.
Right on that.
Doug, you take care. Have a good one. All right.
Okay.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soys, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal. That's a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing that since 1991. Quality roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Jerry Samolsky joining me right now. Jerry, welcome back into the home studio today. How you doing?
Good to be back. But now it's time to take all that stuff that we talked about the first 3 days of the week, start seeing what we need to be doing, prioritizing them, and figuring out what it is we're going to do next year. And, so my advice to the consumer is, you should be doing the same thing. So now is when you start gathering your information. Think about the projects you want to do outside. Think about how we're going to go about them. The internet's a good resource, and the internet is a terrible resource. You really have to be careful because what they do in Florida is not what we should necessarily be doing here. Some cases it is, but not all the time. So again, the internet's a good place to start, but if you saw it on the internet, Terry, it isn't always what you should be doing, right?
There you go. Jerry, you take care. Talk to you again next week, all righty?
And let's prepare all weekend long. When it's cold, terrible, we can stay warm and bring about nice, warm summer things.
Yeah. Keep dreaming. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center over in Essexville. Craig Voorhees, come on over just for a second. We had a chance to talk to Craig a little bit earlier on a live social stream. We talked about a number of things. One in particular, though, and we had Jake Rummel with us this morning, was the featured speaker, the keynote speaker this morning. They were talking about cyber security. And you made some really good points on that stream, especially when it came to making sure that a lot of your records and a lot of the things that you do, you put them on paper.
Yes, Terry, it was kind of interesting. We're all about digital and doing everything online, but good old paper and pencil still works. And when you can't access any of your data, or, that includes your contacts, what phone numbers, what email addresses, who do you have to tell that you're having a problem? If you can't access on the computer, how else are you going to do it? Print it off, put it someplace safe, and hope you never have to use it. But paper and pencil still works.
And again, a part of cybersecurity was making sure that all this new technology continues to work on your farm, because quite frankly, there are some cases where if you got a problem with the internet or your security, you might not even be able to put a field of Navy beans in.
Right. Ransomware is one of the favorite weapons, I guess, of the bad guys use, and that typically locks you out of all of your systems. So imagine, your auto steer tractor, the sprayer, everything that relies on GPS, you can't get into any of that stuff when you need to be running the planter or the sprayer or the harvester for that matter. So being prepared and having a plan is important. One piece of that plan is a good cyber insurance policy, but that's not the only thing to have in place.
So for more information on that, they can get a hold of the folks at the Rummel Agency.
We're certainly always glad to help, whether through the website at rummelinsurance.com, or they can give us a call at 800-572-0939.
Craig Voorhees, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Terry. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure here, too. We'll be right back with more in a moment.
Thumb Bank and Trust offers community farmers the welcome opportunity of working with people who understand the unique needs and challenges of farming. I'm Jared Fisher, Ag Specialist for Thumb Bank and Trust, and I'm also a proud farmer. All of our agricultural loan experts are working farmers, and that's just part of why Thumb Bank and Trust has been recognized as one of Michigan's premier agricultural lenders. It takes a farmer to understand the unique needs and challenges of another farmer, and it takes the lending capital available at Thumb Bank and Trust to grow a farm. Call us today or visit us at thumb.bank. We will meet you at one of our offices, in the field, or at the farm. At Thumb Bank and Trust, our relationships are built on trust. We're an old friend you can rely on. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. An equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
That's what it's all about. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency will protect you against the bad things out there and help you secure the good things. By working with them, you have proper risk management. Now, remember, they are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. And their agents, you can get a hold of them directly on their cell or whatever. Matter of fact, probably call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. Let's check and see what's going on in New York right now. Over to Baird we go. What are we looking at right now, Steve?
We are looking at green and quite a bit of it. Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is ahead by 480 points, putting it at 34,649. Volume there, 392 million shares. NASDAQ's ahead by 109, putting it at 13,651. Volume there is 444 million shares. Locally, Caterpillar 215.57, up 130. Deere 380.67, up 843. CMS 63.48, up 113. Dow 60.98, up 376. DuPont 77.39, up 65. Corteva 47.35, up 134. GM 52.10, down a quarter. Trinzio 54 even, up 96. Walmart 138.79, up 304. Home Depot 361.79, up 451. Huntington Bank 15.39, down a nickel, and AT&T is ahead by a dime at 24.35. So that is not something to be ashamed of for me.
I guess not. Steve Anderson, thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Well, finally, 2021 is over. Computer chips are plentiful and store shelves are full again. Hi, I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Buick Ambassador, and unfortunately, absolutely none of that is true. But for car and truck buyers, here is some good news. At the Cook GM Superstore, even though the lot is still pretty empty, we now have 178 Chevrolets and Buicks, including pickups, Blazers, and finally even Equinoxes, coming in over the next few weeks, some as early as this very week. And we invite you to call or stop out to reserve the vehicle of your choice. You'll find Silverado 4x4 crew cabs starting at $299 a month and Chevy Blazers as low as $245. Who knows? The Chevy of your dreams may be arriving at this very moment. Get out today. That's the Cook GM Superstore, M15, Top of the Hill, Ambassador.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year and includes all rebates. $28.44 on Blazer, $28.89 on Silverado due at signing. Call toll free or visit us online at cookchevybuick.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Michigan Sugar Company is going to be having their 2022 grower meetings kicking off next week. February the 1st, they're going to be in Sandusky. The 2nd, they'll be in Sebring. February the 3rd in Ubley. Then on Tuesday, February the 8th, it'll be over in Gratiot County. And on Wednesday in Bay City at the Doubletree. So mark that down for more information. We'll have more on it tomorrow. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
This is WSGW, Saginaw.